You know that moment when you're alone and your brain suddenly does something that would make you look weird in public? Like you stare at the ceiling for 10 minutes, not scrolling, not distracted, just sitting inside a question that doesn't have an answer yet. Most people would call that overthinking. But here's the twist. That's often what real intelligence looks like when nobody's watching. Because high intelligence rarely performs, it quietly trains. And if you consistently do these 6 things when you're completely alone, your mind is operating at a level most people never even touch. First, you sit with uncomfortable questions without forcing an answer. Most minds hate uncertainty. They rush to conclusions, grab the nearest explanation, and slam the door shut just to feel done. But you can hold the door open. You can sit there thinking, what if I'm wrong? What if there's a bigger pattern? What if the truth is messy? Psychologists call this epistemic patience, basically the ability to tolerate not knowing. And it's rare because it takes emotional strength, not just brain power. Here's what nobody tells you. The smartest minds don't always think faster. They think longer. Second, you argue against your own beliefs. Be honest. When you're alone, you don't just replay conversations where you were right. You replay the ones where you might not have been. You build the strongest case against your own opinion, not to punish yourself, but to test your thinking. That's not insecurity. That's intellectual honesty.
Most people protect their ego first, then their truth. You protect your truth first, even if it bruises your ego. That ability is the engine behind every real breakthrough. What if the opposite is true? Third, you study your emotions like data. Anyone can feel angry. Anyone can feel jealous. Anyone can feel anxious. But when you're alone, you don't just feel it, you investigate it. You notice the pattern. Why did that comment hit me so hard? Why do I shut down when someone raises their voice? Why do I overreact to being ignored? That's metacognition, thinking about your thinking. And this is a big deal because it separates reactive minds from self-directed minds. Here's the weird part. A lot of people with high intelligence look too calm in public. Not because they don't feel, but because they process before they explode. Fourth, you rewrite your past in real time. Not nostalgia, not romanticizing. Reinterpretation. You'll remember something from years ago, and suddenly it lands differently. A failure becomes a lesson. A heartbreak becomes a boundary. A bad year becomes the year you learn survival. That's cognitive flexibility, the ability to update the meaning of your experiences as you mature. Your mind isn't just storing memories like a hard drive.
It's reorganizing them like a strategist. And that's why you can outgrow people without hating them. You didn't change the facts, you changed the lens. Fifth, you get obsessed with things that give you no reward. This one is loud in private. You'll fall down a rabbit hole about ancient architecture, space, language, human behavior, some random topic that will never pay you money or impress anyone at a party. You're not doing it for status. You're doing it because your brain genuinely loves understanding. That's intrinsic curiosity. And research suggests it's closely tied to deeper learning and creative problem solving because your mind explores without needing permission or applause. But wait, this gets even deeper. This kind of curiosity is also a sign you're not easily controlled because you don't need other people to validate what you're interested in. Sixth, you can edit your own thinking mid-thought. This is the rarest one. Most people commit to an idea, then defend it to the end out of sheer habit. But you catch yourself. You'll be halfway through a thought, like, they did that because they hate me. And then you stop. You go, no, that's a story. What's the evidence? Or you'll start a plan and realize this is ego, not logic, and you redirect, not later.
Not after damage, mid-thought. That's real-time self-correction. And it's one of the cleanest signs of intelligence because it proves you value accuracy more than being right. Now, put all 6 together and you get a different kind of person. A person who can sit with discomfort, question themselves, decode emotions, update their past, learn for joy, and self-correct in motion. If you do these things alone, you're not weird. You're training. Quietly. And that's why a lot of highly intelligent people feel misunderstood. Because the world only recognizes intelligence when it's loud, confident, and on display. But your intelligence lives in private, in the invisible work, in the moments nobody claps for. If this felt like a sigh of relief, subscribe so we can keep figuring this out together. And next video, I'm breaking down the psychology of people who seem calm on the outside, but their mind is running 10 timelines at once, and why that's not anxiety, it's a survival skill.